when you must stop begging for love where it is not freely given, when you must stop chasing validation from people who have already shown you that they don't care about you. Too often, we waste our energy trying to hold on to people who have already let us go in their hearts. We tie ourselves in knots, bending and breaking just to fit into spaces where we were never meant to belong. But hear me clearly. Your worth is not determined by who accepts you, and your value is not reduced by who walks away from you. You must free yourself. Free yourself from the silent rejection, from the unanswered calls, from the one-sided relationships where you are always pouring and never receiving. Stop watering dead plants and expecting them to bloom. If they do not see your light, it is not your job to shrink yourself until they notice. You were created to shine, not to be dimmed by indifference. There is a deep peace that comes when you release what was never meant for you. When you let go of people who don't care, you create space for those who will. You make room for genuine love, for real friendships, for divine connections that lift you higher instead of weighing you down. Life is too short to spend it proving your worth to those who refuse to recognize it. You must understand this truth. Not everyone who started with you is destined to finish with you. Some people were only meant to be lessons, not lifelong companions. The pain of their absence is often the doorway to your freedom. Do not cling to what is breaking you. Let it go before it poisons your spirit. Do not confuse letting go with weakness. It takes strength to walk away from what is familiar, even when it is harmful. It takes courage to say, I deserve better, and to mean it. But when you do, you rise to a new level of self-respect. And when you respect yourself, others will learn how to respect you too. Your destiny does not depend on the approval of those who overlook you. Your future is not tied to the hands of those who mishandle you. What is for you will never require you to beg, to shrink, or to compromise your dignity. You are not here to convince anyone of your value. You are here to live it, to embody it, to walk boldly in it. So free yourself today. Free yourself from the opinions, the rejections, the indifference of those who do not care. Lift your head, open your heart, and step forward into the life you deserve. Because once you release what doesn't care for you, you finally make space for what truly does. Stop seeking validation where it doesn't exist. So many people live their lives in a prison built from the opinions of others. They spend their days trying to please people who don't even notice their efforts, trying to impress people who have already decided they don't care, and trying to earn love from hearts that are closed. But the truth is this. Your value does not rise or fall depending on how someone else views you. You were valuable before they ignored you, before they rejected you, before they left you. If someone cannot see your worth, it does not mean it is not there. It means their vision is too small. Chasing validation is exhausting, and it leaves you empty. You can give and give, but if the other side is unwilling to recognize or appreciate you, you will never feel fulfilled. You will only feel drained. Validation is a hunger that can never be satisfied when you are looking in the wrong place. It is like pouring water into a bucket with holes. No matter how much you try, it will never be enough. That is why you must stop wasting your soul on people who refuse to acknowledge what you bring to the table. The approval you need is not in their hands. The love you are chasing is not locked in their hearts. You are not here to beg for a place in someone's life who doesn't want you there. You are not required to shrink yourself just to make others comfortable. You are not called to silence your voice so others won't feel insecure about your strength. Stop bending yourself into shapes to fit into spaces that were never made for you. You must remember that true worth comes from within. When you know who you are, when you recognize the gifts, the strength, the resilience inside you, then no rejection can shake you. Validation becomes unnecessary because you are no longer dependent on borrowed opinions. You are standing on your own truth. When you stop looking outward for approval and start looking inward for affirmation, you reclaim your power. It is not arrogance to know your value. It is wisdom. Too many people confuse self-worth with pride, but they are not the same. Pride demands attention, but self-worth is quiet confidence. Pride seeks to be above others, but self-worth simply understands that you are enough. You do not need to scream for people to see you when you already know who you are. Stop chasing those who don't clap when you win. Stop waiting for acknowledgement from those who pretend not to notice your progress. You cannot force someone to care, and you cannot convince someone to love. Your task is not to beg, it is to be. Live in your worth, walk in your truth, speak with your voice. And when you do, you will realize that you never needed their validation to begin with. Recognize when relationships are one-sided. One of the greatest mistakes people make is holding on to connections that are completely draining them, yet giving nothing back in return. A healthy relationship, whether it is friendship, family, or partnership, is built on mutual effort, respect, and care. But too many people find themselves trapped in bonds where they are always the giver, always the one showing up, always the one sacrificing, while the other person simply takes without ever pouring anything back. Over time, this creates an imbalance that does more than just exhaust your body. It begins to erode your spirit. If you are the one who always makes the calls, always sends the messages, always drives across town to check in, always forgives without apology, and always tries to fix what the other person continues to break, then you are not in a relationship. You are in servitude. You are in servitude. And servitude disguised as love is a dangerous trap. It convinces you that if you just give a little more, try a little harder, stay a little longer, then maybe one day you will be appreciated. But the harsh truth is, people who take you for granted rarely change simply because you keep allowing it. A one-sided relationship can feel like carrying a heavy load up a steep hill, while the other person walks freely beside you. You keep adjusting your pace, bearing the weight, telling yourself it's worth it, while they don't even notice the burden you carry. Eventually, you will wear yourself out while they remain untouched. And by the time you realize it, you are broken while they are still whole. That is why awareness is so important. Recognize it early. Pay attention to patterns. Look at the effort being exchanged. Does the care flow both ways, or is it always you doing the lifting? Love, respect, and friendship are not supposed to be a transaction, but they should be a reflection. What you give should not always come back in the exact same form, but it should come back in some way. If someone consistently leaves you empty, then what you have is not a connection. It is a drain. And if you continue to pour into someone who refuses to pour into you, you are not being loyal. You are being depleted. The truth is, you deserve relationships that refresh you, that encourage you, that challenge you to grow, and that lift you when you are low. You deserve to be surrounded by people who notice your effort and match it, who celebrate your presence instead of exploiting it. Life is too short to carry people who refuse to walk with you. A bond should be a partnership, not a burden. Recognizing when it is one-sided is not bitterness. It is clarity, and clarity is the first step toward freedom. Let go to create space for better. Too often we hold on to people, habits, and situations that no longer serve us simply because we are afraid of the emptiness that comes with letting go. We convince ourselves that something is better than nothing, even if that is something is draining, toxic, or unfulfilling. But what we fail to realize is that by clinging to what is not meant for us, we are blocking the path for what is. You cannot receive with clenched fists. You cannot grasp new blessings while holding tightly to dead weight. Letting go is not a loss, it is preparation. It is the clearing away of clutter so that better can enter your life. Think of your life like a garden. If you refuse to pull out the weeds, they will choke the growth of everything good. In the same way, holding on to people who do not care about you, who do not respect you, or who do not pour back into you will block the relationships that are waiting to flourish in your life. The soil of your heart cannot produce healthy fruit when it is crowded with the wrong seeds. By releasing what is wrong, you give permission for what is right to grow. Many times we pray for better, we hope for better, we dream of better, yet we refuse to release the worst. We want new friendships, yet we keep recycling the same unhealthy ones. We want peace, yet we cling to people who bring nothing but drama and chaos. We want love, yet we refuse to let go of the person who has already shown they cannot love us properly. Better cannot come when worse is taking up all the room. Letting go requires trust. Trust that what you release will be replaced with something greater. Trust that the empty space will not remain empty forever. Trust that the silence after someone's departure will not echo endlessly, but will one day be filled with joy. Letting go is an act of faith. It is saying, I believe there is more for me, and I refuse to settle for less. Do not think of letting go as rejection. Think of it as redirection. Every time someone exits your life, it makes room for someone better aligned with your purpose. Every time you release an unhealthy bond, you are positioning yourself for a healthier one. Every time you close one door, you give another the chance to open. The universe, life, God, whatever you believe in, cannot fill your cup if you refuse to put down the one that is cracked and leaking. So when you let go, you are not losing. You are gaining. You are gaining space, freedom, peace, clarity, and the opportunity for something far greater than what you left behind. Sometimes the greatest act of love you can give yourself is the courage to release what no longer serves you, because on the other side of letting go is everything you've been waiting for. Understand, not everyone is meant to stay. One of the hardest lessons in life is realizing that some people are only meant to walk with you for a season, not for a lifetime. We often make the mistake of trying to drag seasonal people into permanent places. We meet someone, build memories, share laughs, and feel connected. So when their role in our lives comes to an end, we resist. We hold on tighter, thinking the bond should last forever. But not all connections are designed to be permanent. Some are there to teach you, to shape you, to prepare you for the next stage of your journey. There are friends you outgrow, relationships that lose their meaning, and bonds that fade not because you failed, but because their time has expired. The tragedy is not that they left. The tragedy is that you keep trying to make them stay. Imagine keeping winter clothes on in the heat of summer. It would only make you uncomfortable. In the same way, trying to keep people who belong to your past in your present only weighs you down. Life has seasons, and every season brings new faces, new lessons, and new opportunities. Sometimes people come into your life to push you toward growth. Sometimes they are there to test your patience, to show you your strength, or to reveal areas where you need healing. And once their purpose is complete, they move on. Instead of grieving endlessly, you must learn to say, "I thank you for what you gave me," and let them go. Their exit is not always betrayal. It is transition. They were never meant to stay for the full journey, and that is okay. The danger lies in holding on to expired connections. When you cling to someone who no longer fits your future, you block the arrival of those who do. You miss divine alignments because your hands are too full of what no longer belongs. The people who are truly meant to walk with you will not need to be forced. They will remain because their spirit resonates with yours. They will be drawn to you by destiny, not obligation. Understanding that not everyone is meant to stay frees you from unnecessary pain. You no longer see departures as abandonment, but as alignment. You begin to accept that your path may not always match someone else's, and that divergence does not mean failure. It means growth. You are evolving, and not everyone will evolve with you. That's not cruelty, that's life. So when people leave, let them. When seasons change, embrace them. When doors close, trust that others will open. Some people will only walk with you for a chapter, not the whole story, and that's all they were ever meant to do. You honor them by releasing them, and you honor yourself by moving forward without them. The beauty of life is that every ending makes room for a new beginning. And every goodbye sets the stage for a greater hello. Walking away is strength, not weakness. Many people confuse endurance with loyalty, as if the longer you stay in a harmful situation, the more it proves your commitment. But endurance in the wrong place does not make you noble, it makes you trapped. There is no strength in tolerating mistreatment, no honor in allowing yourself to be diminished, and no virtue in staying where you are clearly unwanted. The true power is in recognizing your worth and having the courage to walk away when what you deserve is not being given. It is not easy to leave behind what is familiar, even when it is toxic. Familiarity gives a false sense of comfort. You tell yourself, "At least I know what to expect here," even if what you expect is neglect, indifference, or pain. That is why it takes bravery to say, "Enough is enough." Walking away means stepping into the unknown, but it also means stepping into freedom. It is an act of reclaiming your dignity, an act of declaring, "I refuse to let my life be defined by people who do not value me." Strength is not about how much you can endure. It is about how much you are willing to demand for yourself. Strength is refusing to settle for scraps of affection when you know you deserve a feast. Strength is closing the door on relationships that drain you so you can open the door to ones that nourish you. Strength is choosing peace over chaos, growth over stagnation, and respect over disregard. Walking away is a declaration that your heart, your mind, and your future matter too much to be wasted in places that diminish you. It may hurt at first. The silence after you leave can feel louder than the noise you were used to. The absence of those people can feel like a void, and doubt may creep in, whispering that you made a mistake. But in time, you will see that what you lost in comfort, you gained in clarity. The pain of walking away is temporary, but the freedom it creates is permanent. You will breathe easier. You will feel lighter, and you will wonder why you waited so long to let go. Do not let anyone convince you that leaving means you are weak. Weakness is staying where you are mistreated because you are afraid to be alone. Weakness is silencing your needs just to keep others satisfied. Weakness is betraying yourself for the sake of belonging, but walking away, that is strength. It is self-respect in motion. It is love for yourself turned into action. It is proof that you believe your future holds more than what your present is offering. When you walk away from what doesn't serve you, you walk into the life you were meant to live. You trade bondage for freedom, pain for healing, and emptiness for fulfillment. And in that moment, you discover that the greatest strength you could ever show is not in holding on, but in letting go. Your destiny is not tied to their approval. Too often, we allow our future to be held hostage by the opinions and acceptance of others. We hesitate to pursue dreams because someone we admired did not support us. We silence our voice because someone dismissed us. We shrink back because those around us did not believe in our ability. But hear this truth. Your destiny was never placed in the hands of people. It was written long before anyone had the chance to approve or disapprove. What is for you cannot be stopped by who walks away, who ignores you, or who refuses to see your value. When people overlook you, it does not mean you are invisible. It means they are blind. When they underestimate you, it does not mean you are weak. It means they lack vision. You cannot let their limited perspective set the boundaries of your potential. Their rejection does not close the door to your future. It only proves that the door they held was never meant for you. Destiny is not fragile. It does not crumble because someone disbelieves. It is resilient, unshakable, and unstoppable when you dare to trust it. Think of all the great people in history, leaders, innovators, and changemakers. Most of them were dismissed at some point. Their ideas were laughed at, their dreams criticized, their efforts minimized. Yet they pressed forward because they understood that approval was not required for purpose to unfold. Your path is the same. You cannot sit and wait for everyone to clap before you move. Sometimes you must walk in silence, build in silence, believe in silence, and then let the results speak louder than their doubts. The moment you realize that your future is not tied to their acceptance, you set yourself free. You no longer waste time convincing anyone of your worth. You no longer explain your dreams to people who lack imagination. You no longer shrink because your light makes others uncomfortable. You understand that your purpose comes from within and nothing external has the power to cancel it. What is meant for you will find you. The right doors will open, the right people will align, the right opportunities will come without you having to beg, compromise, or force. And when it does, even those who doubted will have no choice but to witness it. Some will regret overlooking you. Others will pretend they always supported you. But you will know the truth. Your destiny was never tied to their yes or their no. You are not waiting for permission. You are not dependent on applause. You are not bound to the validation of those who cannot see your greatness. The moment you break free from their opinions, you step boldly into the life designed for you. Because destiny is not a vote, it is a calling, and a calling does not need their approval, it only needs your courage.